Hey, how you doing? This is Tom, and this is Tom's Radio Room show. And I hope I'm doing this correctly. I'm still experimenting with this new computer setup for doing YouTube videos down in my workshop. But anyway, today I want to talk about diversity scheme as associated with radios and antennas. Now, first of all, I am no expert. Second of all, I'm using my webcam microphone to record this. So the audio may not be perfect. And I'd still having to have the wall air conditioner on. And of course, that microphone and that camera is not noise canceling, so the noise level may be higher than it is if I'm using my studio microphone. Anyway, here we go. So, what is the diversity scheme when it comes to communications? And I found this web page, it's a Wikipedia, and it says in telecommunications, a diversity scheme refers to a method for improving the reliability of a message signal. In our case, it won't be a message signal, it'll just be a signal, using two or more communication channels, a la antennas and receivers, to improve the characteristics, to reduce noise and interference and stuff like that. Well, the SDR Duo SDR has that capability now using SDR Uno software. And I briefly showed you that in the previous video. You go into a little more detail. Again, no expert. I'm just going to show you what I found and we'll go from there. So I remember many years ago, I had this capability, and I'll show you what I mean right now. Here is, and they still sell it at MFJ, is a noise canceling enhancer antenna. Now, what this thing did is a little box right here with a bunch of controls on it. Let me click for a larger picture. Okay, let's go down. Okay, so you could either use this built-in telescopic antenna, or on the back of this, which they don't have a picture of that, there are two connectors for two antennas. So you could have two external antennas or use the internal telescopic antenna and an external antenna. So there's your two antennas that you're going to try to, I'll say, work against each other to try to clean up the signal. And then what you would do is you would manually change these things. And you would tune for the best frequency. So it was all manual. Um, I wasn't super impressed. It did work, but I wasn't super impressed. I have no idea what I did with this thing. I know I still have it, but like many things, it's out there in the ether in my workshop. So anyway, let's close that down. So these are still available. They're $239. Or you could buy the SDR Play RSP Duo, which I have shown you in the past. And there's several videos out there by Mike Ladd showing you all the details. But anyway, this guy says it eliminates all types of noise, severe power line noise from arcing transformers, insulators, fluorescent lights, blah, 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 blah. Is more efficient than a noise blanker because interference much stronger than your desired signal can be completely removed without affecting your signal. And then it goes on and tells you a little more about it. And actually, I have one. I'm going to try to find it, but I don't know where it is now. Now, the next thing is the RSP Duo and the SDR Uno software. The latest software, I think, came out about 6 or 8 weeks ago. They added this diversity function. And I'll show you the manual right here. This is at the very end of their latest manual on their website. And here's an introduction to diversity. And it says from version 132, which is the latest version, onwards, MRC, maximum ratio combining diversity, is supported using the RSP Duo. The MRC diversity can be used to combine the two tuner input streams together to potentially improve, notice the emphasis on potentially, improve the signal to noise ratio. In other words, get the noise down. And it tunes the two radios that are built into this one radio and combines the two. So let's go to that, which is right here. I have it up and running. All right, there it is. It's actually not running, it's standing by. So I have selected up here the diversity mode. You can have single, dual, and dual ADS-B. I haven't experimented with those, so I'm not familiar with them. And I've just started experimenting with diversity. So you got to bear with me. I don't know a lot about it. So let's go back. Let's go back a second and go to single. Okay, so now we have two tuners inside this box, tuner 1 and tuner 2, of which I'm in single mode. I can select either one. And I have 3 antenna inputs. On tuner 1, I have a high impedance port, and I have a 50 ohm port. On tuner 2, I just have a 50 ohm port. Now, what I have set up right now, I've cleaned up things a little bit here in my workshop because I had a huge mess when I was setting this computer up and the RSP Duo yesterday. So what I have now is on tuner 1, I have my 31-foot vertical antenna. On tuner 2, I have an MFJ in-fed antenna. Now they are approximately 10 to 15 feet apart. And of course, one's vertical and one's horizontal. All right, so that's my setup. Probably not the ideal setup for using diversity mode, but it's the best I got. So we can turn on, I'm at 5 megahertz WWV. I can turn on each of those radios and see how they're receiving. Okay, so I'm on tuner 1, 31-foot vertical. Here we go, play. Doesn't sound too good. You can hear the ticks. They're really distorted. Okay, let's stop. Now let's go to tuner 2. And of course, the tuner 2 is an in-fed, meaning horizontal, and it's facing, it's pointing, that's the right term, it's pointing northwest, which means perpendicular to it is southwest. So not the best direction for this particular station, but we're going to try it anyway. Here we go. I'm going to select it, play, nothing. Well, a little bit. Maybe I should select, what time is it? Let me stop. Okay, it's already 8:45. So let's go to 10 megahertz. I'm trying to use a station that's constant. So let's go to 10 megahertz and see if things are any better now up there. So we'll do a play. Nothing. So I messed around so much this morning trying to get things set up that the signals are gone. So I may have to just check or pick a random signal to have a signal to work with. Let me see what we can find here. Oh my gosh, let's go play. I'm going to go back to tuner 1. There's the ticks. Not really clear. pretty distorted right now. Okay, let's just scan down here and see if we can find not a strong signal. Oh, okay, there's some strong signal.
Los extraña mucho.
Here we go.
Adrián.
Okay.
Así que vive con Dominga
Okay, we
y va a
are
conseguir
at
un buen trabajo.
a
Vaya.
signal to noise ratio
Menos
of
mal.
about 43.
Ya
Okay,
se
we'll
está
stop. We'll go to the other antenna, other tuner, and play. That's about 38. That one's a little better. So the in-fed antenna for this frequency, this station, and I'm probably a little bit off. Let me go up to kind of an even number here. Go to 35. Now we'll play again. Let's see the numbers.
Seguirá yendo al lugar para trabajar
About
en
29 there on that one.
Hecho
And let's go to this one.
del brazo conduciéndola a través de las pocas
45.
calles que la
So
separan de la casona de vivir.
the vertical antenna is getting considerably higher signal to noise ratio, and of course you want to keep that number low. So now let's try diversity, combining the two receivers and antennas. We got diversity mode here, play.
Y siento que todo el ambiente es muy
So we got
agradable. Contigo me
34.
alegro, mi hija. Y también es baratito.
Now,
Deja ver dónde
we
pongo tu
turn, we
música.
mute.
Porque chiquito.
Okay, so here, when you select that mode, this window here pops up. And I finally got things arranged a little better so that everything is on the screen, hopefully. So it is in auto mode right now. And so it's trying to automatically tune these two tuners to give you the best signal to noise ratio. Now notice the number has jumped back up to 45, 40, 36. So it's all over the place. And it's constantly tuning. Now you can turn this off. You click this, and now you can manually, by clicking your mouse on that little bar pointer, and manually tune it and watch the signal to noise ratios. And it was down in this area here, and of course it's changing. And you can see as I tune away from that point that it had selected, the numbers get worse. So let's go back to auto, and notice it'll jump back down in this corner, and it gives you some numbers here of amplitude. I'm not sure what those numbers are telling me. I haven't, it's probably there in the manual someplace, but that section I showed you in the manual, that's kind of that plus maybe one or two pages is it. It does, and let me go back, I'm going to stop. Now I'm jumping around here because this is all new to me. So let me go back to the manual. So down here it does tell you, okay, once diversity mode is enabled, the diversity control window will appear. That's this window here. This window shows the current phase and amplitude being applied and the automatic values that are being continuously calculated and applied if you have this apply auto on. So it doesn't, maybe I'm missing it, but it says this window shows the current phase, and I guess that's where this thing is pointing, is the phase, and amplitude. Oh no, here it is, phase number and amplitude being continuously applied. The automatic values have an A preceding them as well. So these are the automatic values. A phase, A amplitude. Again, I'm not sure what that's trying to tell me. Hopefully, one of you that's watching this know and can leave a comment to everyone so that we can understand what this is about. I'm hoping to do a hangout, well, what used to be hangout, with either uh, Rob, the 741 channel, or Mike Ladd, the SDR play channel. And maybe he can straighten out, or they can straighten out what some of this stuff means, because I don't know. I'm struggling. So anyway, that's about it. That's what I wanted to show you initially, kind of what it is, what it does. Um, the fact that MFJ, maybe I think it was 20 years ago, had that. Let me show you again. Had this little device here to do the same thing, but it was done outside of your radio. So you could hook this box up to any radio and try to do the same thing that this software is doing and the dual tuner and the RSP Duo is doing. So this is just my first cut at this. If there's any interest, I'll continue. Again, hope I can get a hold of either Mike and John from SDR Play. Have done a couple of videos on diversity mode, but I didn't get a lot of information on it. They just, to me, it just seems like they basically said or showed you how it works, but they didn't get into the details of what the software is trying to do. Maybe we don't need to know. Anyway, if you enjoyed the show, please give me a thumbs up. Have any comments, corrections, additional information, please leave a comment. If you want to send me a email directly to tell me how dumb I am, that's okay. And the email address is trrs73@gmail.com. Have a great day. Bye-bye.